and we're moving on to the section around vocabulary. So vocabulary is something that will be tested in the academic literacy section of the NBTs. And vocabulary, and you should know this, I'm pretty sure you do, is simply the meaning of words. So you will have a passage, a comprehension, an extract, and then they may ask you what a word means in context, what a word could be substituted for. And so essentially they are just trying to test whether you understand the word in the passage. Now, it is impossible to know every word, to learn every word, to revise every word that may come up in the NBT test. So what we're going to do instead is look at strategies of how to tackle a question about vocabulary when you actually have no idea what the word means. And it's actually possible, even if you don't know what the word means, to get a question right. So I'm going to let you into a couple of strategies, and then we're going to do a couple of practice questions to kind of solidify the knowledge. So the first thing is, you're facing a question about the meaning of a word, a vocabulary question, and you have no idea what the word means. The first thing you're going to do is read the sentence. You are going to read the sentence again, you are going to read the passage again, and you are going to look for context clues. The passage or the extract has sentences which have many words, and you probably understand most of the words in that passage. And so you need to look around at what the sentence is trying to say, what the word could potentially mean in the context of the sentence. And you're going to use that to kind of get an idea of what the word may mean. So you could take an educated guess given the context around the word. The second thing you're going to do is look at word parts or think about familiar words. So let's take the word criticism, for example. What could criticism mean? Say you don't know what it actually means. What you would do is try to kind of think of familiar words or think of breaking up the word to see if there's any part of the word that you maybe understand. So you may not know what criticism is, but you may know what a critic is, or you may know what critical means. Critic or critical. So say a critic who reviews movies or reviews food, there's someone who judges the food or judges movies. Someone who is critical is quite judgmental. So you would get an idea from the words potentially that you already know what this word that you don't know may mean. And finally, if you've tried the context, if you've tried kind of taking a guess based on the context, based on what you think the word may mean, if you've broken up the word and it still is unfamiliar, I would of course use a process of elimination to try and eliminate the rest of the potential meanings. And I think perhaps the easiest way to kind of understand these three strategies is to actually get into doing some questions. Okay, so our first question is, the repercussions of the financial crisis were pervasive, affecting economies worldwide. The ripple effects caused unforeseen complications across global markets. In this context, what does the word pervasive most likely mean? So say I have no idea what the word pervasive means. The first thing I'm going to do is go back and read. The repercussions of the financial crisis were pervasive, affecting economies worldwide. The ripple effects caused unforeseen complications across global markets. And even if I don't know what pervasive means, what I can take away is that the financial crisis really affected a lot of economies in the world, and it caused a lot of complications. Again, we see this word global around the world. So in this context, what does the word pervasive most likely mean? So if you're reading this extract, you're looking at this large crisis. That's clear. We have the word worldwide. We have the word ripple effects, complications across global markets. It seems to be something that's big. So would the word pervasive likely mean limited, which is small? No. Definitely not, because we've already seen that if we've looked at the words around it, they all suggest something that is large, that is wide. So immediately we can eliminate A. Then we go to B, widespread. Could the word pervasive mean widespread? Something that affects a lot of places? Yes, potentially. So I'm going to put a little dot there to say that it's one of our options. C, unexpected. Now, the ripple effects caused unforeseen complications across global markets. And so it is a little tricky in the sense that, yes, unforeseen suggests that it may have been unexpected. But what I would do in this situation is look at what portion of the extract is surrounding the word pervasive. So in this sense, the ripple effects, this unforeseen, which is unexpected, is very much a synonym for unforeseen, is in the next sentence. Pervasive is actually closer to this idea of affecting economies worldwide, of the initial spread. So I would eliminate that, or I would say potentially this may be the answer. But if we look at it, widespread seems to be more directly linked to this word pervasive, seeing as it comes straight after the comma. And so I would probably gravitate more to the word widespread. D, minor. And as we've discussed, everything in this extract suggests something that is large, huge ripple effects, worldwide economies, global markets. So definitely not minor. And so then I would take a look at the two that I have not eliminated and and see which fits better. And in the case of this one, B definitely fits better. And so B is the answer that we would pick. Okay, and then let's go down here to the next question. Amid the serene landscape, the river meandered gently through the countryside, its currents weaving a path of tranquility. In this extract, meandered could best be replaced by which word? So they're asking you for essentially the meaning. Replaced by which word? We're using a similar word to meandered. So I don't know what meandered means. Firstly, I'm going to go back and I'm going to read. I'm going to look at the context. Firstly, the context is they're talking about serene landscape. You already think of something calm. The river meandered gently. Again, we're thinking of something calm. We're thinking of something slow. The tone of this is very slow. It's very gentle. Its currents weaving a path of tranquility. So the words I'm thinking of are tranquil, calm. It's this beautiful landscape. So I know that the word that I'm looking for is going to have these kind of qualities. So thinking of words like calm, tranquil. In this extract, meandered could best be replaced by which word? A, rushed. Does rushed sound like calm and tranquil? No, and it would not fit in. If we had to say, amidst the serene landscape, the river rushed gently through the countryside, its currents weaving a path of tranquility. Someone who's rushing is the opposite of someone who's calm. So immediately we can say, nope, that's not it. B, wandered. Maybe the idea of wandering is calm, it's tranquil, it's something that moves kind of slowly. That's another word, that this is the kind of the tone of the passage. And so maybe. The next word, C, stopped. Amidst the serene landscape, the river stopped gently through the countryside. As you can see, immediately the idea of something stopping gently, which is an abrupt kind of word, it doesn't really fit. So automatically we can kind of eliminate that. And I think what I would suggest is, if you have this question, a word could be replaced by which word, I would read the sentence back and substitute the word. So I'd put, as I'm doing currently. So I would take the word froze, and amid the serene landscape, the river froze gently through the countryside, its currents weaving a path of tranquility. And again, this idea of freezing, it's stopping quite abruptly, and it does not fit the sentence, which say that the currents are weaving a path of tranquility, because weaving suggests there's obviously some kind of movement. So besides stopping being kind of an abrupt word, this idea of weaving means a path. So this idea of, there is an idea of movement. So I could automatically eliminate froze and I'd be left with wandered. So to basically sum up, I would look at the context. I'd look for clues in the context. I would look at whether we can break up the word, whether it sounds familiar to other words you know. And then finally, I'd use a process of elimination to help you get to the word.